Hi, I'm here to talk about emotional intelligence, anger. Yeah, big important topic, and we need to know what it's for, how to handle it, how to use it to our advantage, and not to let anger use us. We all know that moment, that flash second, split second before you're going to explode. That's the place you need to control. Yes, be angry. Feel angry. We'll talk about why it's essential to feel your anger and not suppress it. I'm going to tell you that. We're going to talk about it. But the split second before you explode is the moment you have. It's the biggest power you've got, and it's what you do with that energy. A moment of anger can cause you to knock someone's brains out, literally. It could be the difference between pulling a trigger of a gun or not. It could be the difference between saving somebody from something or not. How you handle that moment is very important. Look at that. Yeah, everyone tells you, take a deep breath, count to 10. It works to an extent. What you really need to do is feel the anger go through you. It's incredible energy. You know what I mean. What happens in your body? Shall we just look at it anatomically? When you get angry, you secrete certain hormones. Cortisol spikes. That's a special kind of communicative chemical in the body that helps everything work faster, but actually is almost like a toxin if you make too much of it. Adrenaline is created when you're angry. Adrenaline empowers your body at a higher rate. Your heart beats faster. Oxygen is moved around your body faster. It's the fight or flight. It enables you to act swiftly with power. When you get angry, you may start to shake. You feel different. You can feel a kind of internal vibration of all of your cells when you get angry. It's big energy. And usually most of us only get angry when we are at no other place to turn. Then it's really big, isn't it? The explosion. There are a lot of things going on. There are a lot of times that we're going to need to feel angry and not acquiesce and not depress. When you push down anger, you depress yourself. You depress the anger into yourself, and you don't move up the emotional scale, you move down it into depression. When you feel anger, you release it. You move through that energy into something else. Yeah, maybe it's revenge. Usually is a short moment of revenge of some kind. Now, it's your choice. You are a human being of choice. You are a conscious chooser. It's what you've done from the moment of your birth. You may not think even a baby did it, but they did. When they had something they objected to, they could yell, wah, right? You've been choosing since the day of your birth. You haven't always got what you thought you'd chosen, but you have been expressing internal, if not external, opinions about everything. Here's your moment. You're furious. You get to choose what to do with it. You may hit someone. Not always the best thing, is it? Because they may hit you back. In these times, there are people driven to extreme measures. They have weapons, some of them, because they are fed up with being lied to. They are fed up of freedoms being taken from them, of suppression, of restriction. They are fed up with it. So they will reach for something very, very extreme. It's never going to bring you what you want. To hurt someone else is not going to bring you what you want. What will bring you what you want? How can you use anger to bring you what you want? It's a huge energy, and you have a moment to choose. So spend some time thinking about what you're angry about. Spend some time thinking about what you would do if you could do anything. Spend some time thinking of that moment where you may find yourself in confrontation. Look at what might happen. The bad side. Look at what could happen, the good side. What could happen, the good side. Most of us only experience the bad side of anger, and that is why, as societies and cultures around the world, we call ourselves civilized because we suppress it. We call people who do not suppress it uncivilized, and we usually recognize that in the form of those people will shoot someone or hurt someone, physically or verbally. We can do something else with the anger. It's an energy. I'm a singer. Imagine this crazy idea, just for a moment. You make a little pact with all the houses on your street. You say, we don't want this, and you outline what that is. Let's just say, we do not want our children to be taken from us. There are rumours, there are plans, there are edicts, there are some rules about this in certain parts of the world. where there is a possibility of this happening. You don't want to do that. Your child is the person most important to you, you would protect with all your heart. So what could you do? Imagine this. The pact with your neighbours is, if someone comes to the door, if some aggressors, some people assuming they have power in uniforms come to your door and they wish and seek to take your child away by force, what would happen? If you didn't say anything, you stood in front of the door and you sang them their national anthem. What if you made a pact with your neighbours? They would all stand out of their houses and they would sing the national anthem of those guards of you. What would that do? Can you imagine? Have you ever thought why we love X Factor? Why we love The Voice? Why we love all of those shows? Why we love our rock stars, our pop stars? We love singing. Something inside here loves the sound of a soul coming out in a different way. When you speak, great. When you sing, something else, isn't it? It's something deeper. It is not ordinary. It is transformative. It changes the very atmosphere in the room. What about taking your anger and turning it into sound? You could shout at them. Women have been locked up for less. Women have been deemed crazy. Men, you could try shouting. It doesn't tend to work, though, if they've got weapons. What if you sang? Music, singing. The voice is the language of peace. It's a language of power, people power, not gun power, people power. What's that? It's connecting to something greater. It's connecting person to person to person. If you all sing the same melody, you've connected on a very extraordinary level. Sound, you're creating a similar frequency. You've connected on an idea level, the idea of the song, what it symbolizes. And you've connected on some other level too. It takes willpower, it takes precision, it takes focus to sing. And it takes beauty. It takes the soul of a human to produce a sung sound. You activate that, and those people will not be able to do a thing. They'll get shivers down their spines. They will become sheepish. You may think it's a funny idea. It is a funny idea. Oh, let's sing. That silly woman in England says, let's, when we're furious and we have no idea what to do, she says sing. Yeah, violence begets violence. If you shoot, they shoot. And they've got more guns. Who's going to win? If you do something different, if you link all those people you know into that, they haven't got a chance. You've seen silent protests. What about if we gathered in our ridiculous 6-foot divisions? Because I say ridiculous because actually the true scientific evidence, which is very difficult to come by because it keeps being stamped out by the mainstream agenda, not information, agenda, says the 6 feet distance doesn't mean a thing. It's actually for satellite mapping of our faces. But imagine, there we are, 6 foot distance apart, a mass of us, 100, 1,000, 10,000, spread out in a park, singing a song, singing something that means something to us. You know, in England, we have an anthem for England, and we have then the United Kingdom anthem. I would suggest we find a song that means something to us. For the English, it may well be Jerusalem or Land of Hope and Glory. They're pretty good meanings. There's a few problems in those lyrics, but mostly they're good, heartfelt songs of freedom and joy in being in a land, in a country. Welsh song, beautiful, Land of Our Fathers. Scottish song, there are a couple of different ones you may want to do. America, you know what song you'd be singing. The Land of the Free. Sing that to them. Those people signed up believing that too. Sound can cut through things. It can cut through in ways that seem to be inexplicable. What it's actually doing is a frequency of vibration that actually permeates your skin. Let's just talk about anger. We live in cultures that suggest anger is not good. Don't be angry with me, we say. I had to get angry at a friend today. I said, this is not what I want to do. I love you. But it was gone a little too far. It was important. A point needed to be said clearly, definably. Anger is something which will move you through something to something else. It is a rush of energy. Depression keeps you circling down. It is disempowerment, is depression. So when you want something and you're not getting it, you want to reach out and be angry somewhere, don't you? Mostly we'll blame others. Usually it's actually, of course, ourselves to blame. But you can be internally angry with yourself and you actually make yourself ill. If you express it as sound, you move through it, you probably end up laughing If you get angry at yourself, you'll end up probably laughing. If you get angry at someone else, you need to just walk away before you batter them to death with your tongue. But you can feel when enough is enough, can't you? I've been there, where I've been furious beyond belief at somebody, an ex-husband who took my children and used them as pawns, hurting them again and again, putting them in very, very dangerous situations to hurt me. Now, if that's going to get any woman angry, any mother, any parent, that's the easiest way to get a parent angry beyond belief. And I was. That's not what you do to children. No, never. So I was angry and I shouted. Of course, it was held against me. It didn't work. If I'd got angry and sung, probably also considered crazy. In that particular situation, I had to feel the anger and turn away because I was being labelled and judged by external sources. Should we just call them the courts? Oh, anger, bad. Oh, she's not fit because she's angry. No, anger is important. And you as a parent will know. If anyone touches your children, if anyone does something wrong to your children, you need to be angry. So when I shouted, it didn't work. I had to walk away. Now you can't. If someone's at the door and they want to come in and they're doing something terrible, it's already gone too far, hasn't it? I don't want it to be that far for anyone. I want you to find ways of nurturing your mind that it never gets that far. But there is one way you can transform it. I was on my own in those situations. I didn't even have witnesses apart from my sweet children, who of course would have been scared by that, not understanding the true danger in which their father had put them. They would have been scared by my anger because it's loud. But imagine if you talk to your friends and your neighbours and you say, look, if this happens, this is what we're doing. That's different. You've got people with you. You have witnesses with you. You have people who know it's wrong, and you use that anger and you turn it into sound. There's one way that people can get you with anger, and that's because we suppressed it in our society. We call it bad and we feel guilty. As soon as you feel guilty, you can be got. Got, what do I mean? You're labeling it bad in your mind so someone can easily make that bigger and badder and use it against you. If you're there and you know what they're doing is wrong, make sure you know that truly. Not, yeah, it's wrong, but have I got a right to be angry? Yes, you have a right to feel what you're feeling, and you should feel it. We need to replace any shade of guilt with pure passion. What do we know? We know we're sovereign beings. We know our children have a right to happiness and love. We know they should have a good life. We know that they are being told lies, as are we. That's a passion. That passion is what is going to fuel you. And yes, you will feel angry, but it's passion, it's conviction, it's knowledge, it's not doubt. So when you're in a position where you are very angry, you breathe, you express it clearly. You don't carry on shouting. You shut up, or you sing, or you walk away. So go find your national anthem and practice it. Call up your neighbours, make a deal. This is the time we've been waiting for. We're the ones we've been waiting for. Do you remember that Hopi prophecy? And this time is a time of emotional intelligence, and we are emotionally intelligent. We know there are things that make us angry beyond belief, and we know how to use that anger, not to make things worse, not to harm more people, to hold steady to where we are. You know, Gandhi suggested you do a silent protest. That's almost impossible for most of us to hold it in there, but you need to feel what it feels like when you're angry. You know that energy that courses around your body. That is a vibration. You can feel yourself shaking inside. You can turn it into sound. Hey, some of you will even turn it into a dance. But if someone comes knocking on your door and you're angry, you make sure you have friends, and they're all going to bring a different energy to that situation. Use the power of your voices, guys. You could all shout, but people are trained to react negatively to anger. You know that. And they get scared, and then they are dangerous. If you sing, you're soothing them. You're bringing them back to a memory of who they are. Your oppressors can't handle it. They melt in it. That happened to me once with that same man I spoke of. He came and was terrible to the children, would not communicate to them. They were very upset, very, very upset, because he was just silent and brooding and scary. And I gathered them to me and I just started singing quietly, and it soothed them and it calmed them. It was an atmosphere that surrounded us. And there was his brooding, scary manipulation. And we protected ourselves through creating a different atmosphere. Use your voices, use them. Yeah, go out and protest if you need to. Don't shout, sing.